Hello and welcome back to my channel. In this video, we'll be discussing tips for the removal and replacement of the EVAP purge valve on this 2025 Chevy Trax with the 1.2 liter engine. If you find my tips to be helpful, please like, subscribe, and comment. Now let's get started. The EVAP purge solenoid valve is located in the center of your screen near the tip of my red pointer. And so that's the electrical connector right there. Some of the symptoms associated with a faulty valve include rough idle, decreased fuel economy, hard start, poor acceleration, and a check engine light with trouble codes P0442, P0446, 455, and P0496. So you might ask, what does this part do? Well, it controls the flow of fuel vapor from the vapor canister to the intake manifold. Our supply list includes a new EVAP purge valve if needed, an 8mm socket with a long extension and ratchet. Please see other items in the description below. So let's go ahead and move forward with the removal of the purge valve. Okay, using my 8mm socket and long extension, I'm going to go in right through this area right here and loosen the one bolt connected to the valve. All right. It should be loose enough. Come in over the top with your left hand. Finished unscrewing the bolt. There you go. Now this part here is going to be a little tricky, but what I'm going to do is pull the valve out towards the brake fluid reservoir. Tug on it. Okay, now I have it loose. I'm going to pull it as far as I can. And then as I'm pulling it, I'm going to rotate it like that. So, I hope you guys saw that, how I just rotated it out. And now I have access to this hose bib right here and also the electrical connector. And I'm going to go ahead and disconnect the electrical connector first. And so in order to do that, I have to unlock the white tab right there. Okay. Just like that. And now I'm going to press down on this connector right there. And what will happen, so I'm going to press down just like that. And that's going to expand the inside of the connector and allow me to pull it off. And I hope you guys saw that. And here is your EVAP purge valve. So let's go ahead and take a look at it. First of all, I want you to note that there are two O-rings here. You should check the condition of the O-rings. They should be nice and pliable. Normally, there's only one O-ring, if any, but when you see two O-rings, that tells you that the O-rings are a critical component of a part, okay? So when you see two like that, be sure to pay extra attention. So that's a pro tip for you. So make sure they're in place and make sure that they're pliable, okay? Rotating it around. This is where the bolt was connected right in here. Okay. So now I'm just looking for cracks or anything that might cause a leak. And I'm not seeing anything. Here are your two electrical prongs for your electrical connector. And as you can see, they're nice and straight. This is the hose bib that had the compression fitting, okay? Normally there's a flow diagram, but I'm not seeing one here. I can tell you're getting flow from the vapor canisters flowing in this direction, and then it flows out. I don't recommend that you try to clean it. These typically either work or they don't work. One of the things that I'm finding during my research is that if you use fuels that have a high percentage of methanol, they will degrade these and other parts connected to the vapor canister control system. Okay, so if it's possible, take a look at where you're filling up with fuel, and try to stay away from gas stations or fuel that uses a high percentage of methanol, because methanol will degrade the internal components of not only this valve here, but also the other components related to the vapor canister and other parts of the system. Okay, so that's a huge pro tip for you right there. And with that, let's go ahead and get this part reinstalled. So I'm just going to reinstall it in reverse order. First thing I'm going to do is connect this hose bib connection right here. Just lift up that hose and slide it into place. Listen for the click. There you go, tug on it. All right. What I'm going to do is go ahead, push the canister into its final location, and then I'm going to make the electrical connection. And that way I can be sure that I'm not twisting the wires. That seems like the smarter choice here. Okay, so I've got it in place. Remember, there's two O-rings there. So make sure you're pushing back on the bottom side of the valve to make sure that both of those O-rings are seated. You never want to use the bolt to pull the valve into place. Okay. So now that I've got the valve in place, I'm going to go ahead and make this electrical connection. But before I do that, I'm going to make sure that the gasket is not deformed. And it isn't. So let's go ahead, put it in place, listen for the click. Okay, that's one click, two clicks. I locked it in place. Now, let's go ahead and install that bolt. Get it started by hand. Might have to rotate the valve a little bit. Okay. I'm going to come in with my socket and extension. Let's see if I can get this thing tightened down. Okay, seems to be working. Okay, so it's just snug. Before I go in and really tighten it down, I'm going to wiggle this valve and make sure that it's seated properly. Okay? And now I'm going to go back in to tighten it up. And I'm just going to put maybe 10 pound-feet of pressure. And there you go. Well, folks, that wraps up this video on the removal and replacement of the vapor canister purge solenoid valve on this 2025 Chevy Trax. I hope you found my tips to be helpful. Please like and subscribe. And until next time, drive defensively.